Thank all of you all, first off, for coming to join in this moment. It has been a labor. Let's go ahead to the first slide. If you remember, those of you who were here, we started back in 2013, where late in the year I took on the role part-time. First of that, 2014, we kind of started working on a lot of the infrastructure things that were involved. We made new policies, we did some QI planning, we had that whole strategic planning deal. So a lot of work has happened, and a lot of our hands have been involved in many different ways. So a lot of that was the preparation in step one. Step two of the process is when we actually applied to the Public Health Accreditation Board, letting them know that we were gonna do this thing. We did our official application in June. We paid up by the end of June, and in November of last year, Ashley and I attended the training. And 1 year ago today, we gained access to the PHAB system to be able to upload our documents. And that brings us to this lovely day. And as you know, we mentioned early on that this was a multi-year odyssey, so you'll notice a couple more steps waiting. But we're going to take a pause and celebrate this step today.
All right, so this chart represents this year and the documents that we collected throughout the year. So prior to this year, obviously, we had been collecting documents. So as of February, we had 176 documents. And you see that increase up till October, where today we're going to have 327 documents that we submit to PHAB. And one important thing to note is that one of our last documents, or some of our last documents, were dependent on our Community Health Improvement Plan, which was approved by the board November 2nd. So it was, really pushing it up to the end, but for good reason, so that we're prepared going forward.
So with that being said, prior to those last few documents getting in October, around October 13th through November 3rd, we worked feverishly with the help of, I think, Jeff Webb and Melissa to convert all of the documents into a single PDF. So if you remember, some may have had an agenda, sign-in sheet, a bunch of documents. We combined them all into one, made a nice cover page that kind of would lead the site visitor to the right page for the right information to show our conformity to the measure.
And then on November 6th, we had a mock document review. So we brought in some internal partners, which were Jeff Webb, Pam Hamer, Deidre Owsley, and Nancy Kessinger. Sorry, it makes it easier for me to read them. We brought them in, and some external partners, Dwayne Stansberry from Warren County, Gabe Jones from Champaign County, Michelle Bowman and Janelle Hodges from Miami County. And they were our external partners who all took a look at all of those documents that we prepared and that we will be submitting today.
And they gave us a lot of revisions and suggestions on what we could do to improve those documents. So we really actually started on the 6th, creating a grid of which documents got the pass, which ones needed some work. And starting the very next day, Ashley and myself, was anybody else in on that part? I think that may have just been us. We're working on revising and editing those documents. We had to make a lot of phone calls to a lot of people in a short amount of time, and everybody was so responsive immediately. Jeanette, I think I hit you up multiple times in one day. Susan, even as up to this morning, continue to hit you up, and everybody's been responsive. Melissa, Jeff, EH had to do some finagling along with Don Brennan to create something that we needed for Domain 6. And they just did it expediently, and teamwork makes the dream work. That's all I can say.
And we definitely bugged Amy a lot too.
Oh,
so.
yeah.
Thanks for hanging out around her desk. And then our next phase, November 14th through the 17th, we started doing that document upload. And so the upload team included, let me look at the list. Hold on, where am I at? Okay. So Pam, Jeff, Kirsten, Deidre, Becky, and then Cheryl and myself, we all worked on that upload into the PHAB system, which for those of you who were in it, you know that can be, all of it is very time consuming. So we really appreciate that help.
And following that, we had another set of staff members who could put fresh eyes on the documents once they were in the system. And for that team, we had Teresa Myers, Lori, Jillian, Juanita. Becky did double time on that for us, and Pam Hamer as well. And once again, a few more little glitches, the little things that were caught. If you remember that cover sheet that we were using to make sure nothing was a draft, there were signatures where there should be, everything had a date on it, punctuation, et cetera, and Susan, did I say Susan? Oh yeah, and Susan. So,
And then just yesterday was the final review. Well, you know, kind of up to maybe this morning, you know.
up until about an hour ago.
Yeah. So we were, you know, both in there just doing those final reviews and checks that we had everything in there. So ultimately, we just appreciate everyone's help. This was like the shout out portion of the presentation.
Yeah. Thanks to everybody. Big ups, big props. And so November 8th, our screen looked like that. Nothing was in. Pink indicated not started. And then on today, this is where we are. Yeah. So they're in there, and we are about to do this. Okay?
Okay, so since we brought everybody together, we have to do a countdown. That's just necessary. Okay. And so, you know, we've never done this before, so be patient with us. Okay, so I'm going to click this, and the next slide, we're going to count down from 10, okay? So when you see it, it'll be a number. It'll be 10. So are you guys ready? Okay. Okay, a little bit louder. Are you ready? Ready! 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, that was the really exciting. All right, here we go.
This is actually it. Do you want to see the button?
Check that box up there.
Click the box.
Check the box.
Oh, Bruce, can
This
you
is
get
you, Melissa, clicking the box.
And the second celebration will ensue.
Oh,
Are you sure? Yes.
That means it is gone. It is done.
Can't take it back now. Red
You
screen.
are stuck with whatever they got.
I think you need to go back. It's all right.
Oh.
Yep, it's submitted. Okay.
Okay.